Learning to express your emotions can be quite tricky. One time I was playing football, and this is how I think toxic masculinity, or how masculinity becomes toxic, because we force people not to express their emotions. And I remember playing football, organized football. I was playing, as a kid with my team, my town team. And this player hit me right in the chest, like his helmet, boom, hit me right in the chest. And I coughed and blood came out. And it freaked me out. I was really young. I was like 10, 11 years old. I was really young. And I run off the field and I go tell my coach, I said, "Coach, I'm spitting up blood. I've never done that before. It was a scary thing to do for a kid that age." And my coach stuck out his hand and he said, "Spit in my hand." And I spit in his hand. There was no blood because it was happening and I was coughing, but that previous time there was no blood. And he said, "Be tough, go back in there." And I was scared, like I was terrified. And I immediately knew I can't tell him I'm scared. Like even at that young age, I knew I cannot express this emotion I'm feeling because there will be a consequence. He's going to tell me that I'm weak, I'm soft, I'm not a real football player. He's going to tell me the kind of stuff that would make me feel judged and criticized. And I didn't. I just ran off the field. So this week, we're going to talk about the importance of being able to express your emotions. We're going to start today where I'm going to talk about the unhealthy ways that we learn to express our emotions where we're not able to freely share them, and then what to do when we realize we have these unhealthy habits. So welcome back to the aha moments, where every day I share the lessons I've learned in my work as a psychotherapist and in my life to inspire you to live your very best life. Of course, I'm your host, Elliott, Connie. And when you grow up in an environment like that, it's just not easy to tell people hey, I'm scared, or I feel insecure, or I feel lost. I grew up in the 80s, and I think things, at least I would like to think things are improving now, but I still don't think things are as they should be. But it's really, really hard. And when you stuff your emotions, those emotions have to come out. And they usually come out in one way, and that way is anger. So when you're not able to say, "I'm scared," think about a man in a relationship, and I'll say man, but it could be male or female. But if I'm in a relationship and I'm afraid that my partner is going to leave me, I have that insecurity. My mom and dad got a divorce, that everybody I know got a divorce, or whatever. There's all these traumas that lead to people having these kind of fears. And I have this fear that my partner is going to leave me. Instead of saying that, because the brilliant thing is if I say that out loud, if I say that overtly, I have a fear that you are unhappy and will subsequently leave, then that person can reassure me. That person can let me know, "No, I love you and I am happy. We're in this together. We're going to make this happen." And that's a powerful thing. But what happens when we're not able to freely express how we feel and we bottle those emotions, they come out as anger. So what happens is I see my partner texting and "Who the bleep are you texting? What is going on?" And that comes out in a toxic, unhealthy, unproductive way. As a psychotherapist, that's one of the things that I notice is when people are being unhappy, when people are angry, it's not anger. I cannot tell you how many times people have come to my office and they came with their partner and their partner said, "We're here because that person has an anger problem." And the truth is, anger is almost never the problem. It's always the problem that people think they have or people think they need to solve, but it's almost never the actual problem. There's something underneath it. And it's usually the inability to express your true feelings. Maybe you're in a relationship with someone who doesn't handle it well when you express your true feelings, or maybe you've been conditioned because you had football coaches like what I described earlier, where you weren't able to share your emotions through your developmental years. It's hard. It's hard. But we have to learn how to express our emotions in a healthy way. And here's the key. Here's the biggest key I want you guys to have. When you're in a relationship with somebody and you do the work to I want to get really good about expressing how I feel. I am afraid you're going to leave, and that's really causing me to not be my very best self. And if that person doesn't respond well, appropriately, nurturingly, or accepting to your concern, then maybe that's not the right person to have in your life. And that goes for family, that goes for romantic relationships, that goes for friendships. If you're expressing your authentic experience and someone does not handle it well, they might not be the person for you. Thanks for being here. If you wouldn't mind doing me a super huge favor, I would love it if you would share this podcast with at least one person in your life that you think could benefit from hearing this message today. And also, don't forget to subscribe on Apple Podcasts or anywhere else you listen to your podcast. And also follow me on all of the social media platforms, Facebook, Instagram, Blue Sky. You can search for my name, Elliott Connie, or at Elliott Speaks. That's my handle across all platforms. Can't wait to see you tomorrow.